Let's begin by getting the feel for our percent bar. When I take 50% and 50%, what I have essentially done when I laid both of these over the one long bar is divided that 100% long bar into two different segments that are 50% each. If I repeat the process with 25%, you'll notice that two of them fit in each one of the 50%, and total I have four sections of 25% each. I've divided the 100% bar into 25% sections. Notice that when I lay the 20% sections, I am dividing the entire bar into 5 equal sections, each one worth 20% each. And I can repeat that with the 10%, and the 10%, I will be able to put 10 of these across. I can do the same with the 5%, where each 5% will require 20 sets of 5% blocks to fill up the 100%. And then, of course, I have my little 1% as well, which can fill those gaps when I need to be able to come up with numbers that don't fall evenly into 5% sections. Now that we have explored the manipulative and how the percent bar works, let's connect it to a scenario where we can identify the percentage of a specific number. For instance, in this example, we have pet snails and we're going to race them. And let's give an example where we have a snail that only manages to go 1 out of a total of 4 segments along the sidewalk. The racetrack in this case would begin at 0 and end at 4. Now, somewhere along this line is going to be the correlation between where 1 equals a certain percentage. Let's find out what that is. As it happens, I can break down my ones into segments of 1, and I'll have 4 segments if I do that. Well, let's do the same thing with the 100 bar. Let's divide the 100 bar into 4 different segments. So I have 25, 25, 25, and 25. So I've divided the 100% bar into 4 different sections, each valued at 25%. Let's do the same thing with our snail race. Okay, so this would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I can label this 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I were to use the 20% to mark this, and I know that I'm going to go from 0 to 4, and if I see my correlation right here and number them, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, there's my 4. I need my 4 to be over here. That's why I did not use the 20. Now, my little guy only went 1 segment, and I can see the correlation with the 1 segment means that my little guy went 25%. Okay, now let's connect it to another example. Let me clear the page. In this example, I'm going to use 3 out of 20. So my start line is 0, and I'm going to end up at 20. A common factor of 20 is 5, and a common factor of 100 is 5. So let's break this into 5s. Each one of my sections is now valued at 20, and I'm going to go 3 out of 20. So if we divide this bar into 5 sections, 20 divided by 5 means I'm going to be counting by 4s. So I have 4, 8, 12, 16, and then finish line is 20. Only want 3, so 3 is going to end up here, so it's going to end up being less than 20. Let's find out how much it is. If I take my 20 and split it in half, and I take this section right here and split it in half, you'll notice that this now becomes 2. Now I know that my answer is going to be between 10 and 20% because I'm looking for the value that's going to be somewhere in here. Find that. Let's split this one. And we split this one. You can see that splitting 10 into 2 sections of 5, we split it in half. We're going to split this in half. The difference between 2 and 4, the halfway point, is 3. That means if I connect this, this is my percent value. So 5 plus 10 is 15%. So 3 of 20 is 15%.